What Alexandra Ela will do at the Australian Open in 2026 for the very first time after enjoying a stellar year on the WTA Tour, Alexandra Ela will look to carry her excellent form into 2026. The Filipina, 20, first became a known quantity on the tour when she defeated Madison Keys and Iga Swiatek on her way to the Miami Open semi-finals. In September, Ela won her first WTA title in Guadalajara. By doing so, Ela became the first Filipino to achieve this milestone. Her excellent season continued to roll on, and she later became the first Filipina to break into the WTA top 50. This month, Ela continued to shine, becoming the first Filipina since 1999 to win the women's singles event at the Southeast Asian Games. After achieving success in Asia, Coco Gauff and Victoria Mboko congratulated the 20-year-old, as did a Filipino sporting legend. Ela remains one of the best young singles players on the WTA Tour, and she is set to play in her first Australian Open main draw in January. Alexandra Ela is set to play doubles at the Australian Open as a professional player for the first time in her career. A number of well-known players from the WTA Tour can be found on the entry list for the Australian Open women's doubles tournament, which was released publicly on Tuesday. One of those players is Alexandra Ela, who is set to compete in the Australian Open women's doubles tournament for the first time in her career. Ela is paired with Brazilian player Ingrid Martins. At 29 years old, Martins has won 4 ITF singles titles in doubles. The Brazilian has won 2 WTA Tour titles, the 2023 Bad Homburg Open and the 2024 Merida Open. Martins has also won 4 doubles titles at the WTA Challenger level and 11 ITF doubles titles. As for Ela, she has a history of success in doubles. As a junior player, she won 2 Grand Slam doubles titles, the 2020 Australian Open and the 2021 French Open. As a professional, Ela has played doubles events at 2 Grand Slam tournaments. Ela reached the second round of the 2025 French Open women's doubles tournament. A month later, she lost in the first round at Wimbledon. Victoria Mboko is set to play with an American star. Victoria Mboko is another young star who has enjoyed a breakout year on the WTA Tour, winning her maiden WTA Tour title at the Canadian Open. In 2026, the Canadian is set to kick things off in Australia by playing alongside Iva Jovic in the Australian Open women's doubles event. Jovic is another young American star who has rapidly climbed the WTA ranks over the past year. Jovic, who won her first WTA Tour title in September at the Guadalajara Open, is now ranked 35 in the world for singles. A new dawn at Melbourne Park. Alexandra Ela's 2026 Australian Open. The morning sun broke gently over Melbourne Park, a soft promise of warmth after the cool Australian summer night. But for Alexandra Ela, the sunrise didn't just signal another day of competition. It was the day her journey changed forever. Chapter 1. The arrival. Alexandra stepped onto the blue courts with a heart pounding like a drum, determined yet centered. It was her first Australian Open main draw appearance, and the world felt wide open. Her luggage was still heavy with memories from the junior Grand Slam triumphs, youth circuits, and long flights from Manila to Melbourne. But nothing weighed as much as the expectation, her own, and that of an entire nation watching with bated breath. Inside Rod Laver Arena, she soaked in the ambience, the buzz of fans from all over the world, the scent of freshly cut grass from nearby practice courts, and the rhythmic tap of tennis balls echoing like a heartbeat. Nearby, legends walked, past champions, seasoned pros, and rising stars who had once stood where she stood, just outside the tunnel, waiting for destiny. Chapter 2. First match. No fear. Ela's first-round opponent was a seasoned top 30 player. A test by fired in warm-ups. A camera caught Alexandra's eyes, fierce yet calm, like a young warrior ready for her first battle. The first set was a blur of powerful forehands, deep returns, and blazing serves. Ela fought point by point, each rally drawing cheers from the crowd. At a crucial moment, down match point, she dug deep, recalling her childhood hours hitting against the walls of Manila's courts, her family's unwavering belief, and the countless times she dreamed of this very moment. With a perfectly placed backhand down the line, she won the point, and then the next, and suddenly, in a stunning upset, Alexandra Ela closed the match in 3 sets. The crowd erupted. She sank to her knees, smile breaking through the inevitable tears. The tennis world was watching, but she was no longer watching back. She was here to play. Chapter 3, Rising Stars. Second week dreams. With each passing round, Alexandra's confidence grew. She wasn't just surviving, she was asserting herself. In the second round, she showed off her improved net game, slicing through her opponent's rhythm like a blade through silk. In the third round, she rallied from behind, scoring a victory that seemed choreographed by destiny itself. Journalists started to whisper, "She's deep into the tournament. Could she be the next big thing?" Fans across Asia and around the world began donning shirts with her name, chanting, and watching every point with exhilaration. Chapter 4. The crowd, the culture, the connection. Melbourne loved passion, and Alexandra brought it in spades. She wasn't just winning, she was connecting. French fans cheered her daring backhand. American supporters clapped for her grit. Japanese and Korean fans admired her agility and composure. Filipino flags swayed proudly everywhere, colors wrapping the arena like ribbons of hope. After matches, she walked through the players' garden, stopping for selfies, signing autographs, and speaking about the journey that had brought her here, the sacrifices, the triumphs, the setbacks, and the belief that no dream is too big. Chapter 5. Quarterfinal breakthrough. Reaching the quarterfinals was historic. The first time a Philippine player had advanced this far at the Australian Open in decades. Her quarterfinal match was scheduled under lights, the cooler evening air curling around the stadium like quiet applause from the sky. The match started like a chess game, cautious, calculating, elegant. Eala's opponent was crafty and unpredictable. For every blistering winner she struck, there was a moment of doubt, but Alexandra answered with resilience. Game, set, match. She won, and suddenly, the semi-final wasn't just a dream. It was real. Chapter 6. Semi-final magic. The night before her semi-final, Eala hardly slept. Not from nerves, but from excitement. She walked through the empty corridors of Melbourne Park, visualizing every corner of the court, every serve she would make, every footstep on the hard surface. When match day came, the stadium brimmed with energy. A sea of fans, from locals to visitors to Filipinos far from home, made every seat feel alive. Her opponent was a top 10 seed, tall, powerful, experienced. But Alexandra played like she'd been preparing for this moment her entire life. Her serve was sharp. Her movement, graceful. Her shots creative and fearless. In one rally, long, mesmerizing and packed with tension, she chased down every ball, returning, resetting, attacking, until her opponent finally missed. The crowd gasped. And then they roared at in a breathtaking performance. Alexandra Ela secured her place in the Australian Open final. Chapter 7. The final. History beckons. It was destiny.